Here it is. So I did the increase attack, increase crit damage, A2. Here we go. Let's slow it down for you. Does he get the big hit? Boom! 1.1 million damage. Absolutely insane. What's up, guys? Erroneous here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing a recording of me beating AMIUS rotation number 3. I had 3 hours left to go, and I just barely did it. And it's also with RATHALOS Blade Master, which is insane. He does some nukes on the boss. So stick around, stay tuned. I'm just going to be doing some voiceover of the video itself. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so here we are. I ended up utilizing Elva Autumnborn. I utilized Arbiter, Drexthar, Scion, which is an epic champion who helps place heal reduction, as well as RATHALOS Blade Master. Now, this is a very, very long recording. It took me about an hour and actually went almost 1,500 turns. So I'm not going to go through the entirety of this, but what I'm going to go through is just the basics of the AMIUS boss and what I did to make sure I could keep him down, kill him, as well as he resurrects, and then I keep killing him over and over. And when he does resurrect, he loses max HP based on the champions that you're utilizing or based on his kit itself. I'm just going to double check if it's based on the blessing from Elva, but also if it's based on him just reviving in his kit. So if I go to here, the rotation boss guide, now it does say when he revives, let's see. So revives AMIUS, 30% HP, 50% turn meter when killed, while under the Eclipse buff, this effect only activates when AMIUS is killed in his alternate form. It does not say that he revives with destroyed max HP, but because of the ability or the blessing on my champion here, it destroys his max HP. So that's actually really strong, even though it's a 1-star. Of course, if you can get Brimstone, it's going to be way better to cheese the boss, and it would be a way faster fight. But I also noticed, too, throughout the fight is I didn't even have high enough accuracy on my Scion. It was only about 406 or 407 accuracy, which just wasn't enough. And he wasn't landing the heal reduction enough times to keep him from healing up. So he just kept on healing. The good news is we had enough survivability with our champions to revive with Arbiter, and then as well as continuously put the block debuffs with Elva, the continuous heals, so on and so forth. So let's go through this. And of course, I don't think there's going to be much sound, but in general, it was a pretty sweet fight. Here's the team. I put Elva in the lead for additional speed. I think that's kind of necessary. I did have Drexthar in the lead at one point, but it just wasn't really working out. And so I was looking at the ability. I was like, okay, which one is he going to do first? Who knows? So I kind of just started off with the A3 and then put on the block buffs. I was like, okay, what is he going to do? I did the A1 with the Scion, and because he'll just basically go into the A3 if you do the heal reduction, and he'll turn that heal reduction into a continuous heal, right? So you don't want him to turn the heal reduction into a continuous heal. It's actually bad for you with this A3 ability. Now, with this one here, I said Rampant Chaos. So this is the one where removes any block buffs, debuffs from AMIUS, replaces them with block debuffs lasting for 3 turns. Also removes any debuffs that are negatively affecting stats and replaces them with their mirrored buff equivalent, such as decrease attack being replaced with increase attack. Debuffs such as heal reduction and weaken will replace with continuous heal and strengthen, all mirrored for 3 turns. Then places a stun debuff on all enemies except mythical champions for 1 turn, and forces all mythicals to change their form. And then finally fills the AMIUS' turn meter by 10% for each debuff converted into a buff by the skill. So that's why you need to have a champion such as Elva Autumnborn to be able to place the block debuffs so you're not getting stunned by this A3 ability, Rampant Chaos. RATHALOS, when all the stars align, hits crazy damage. And I think I did it like 2 or 3, maybe 4 times throughout the entirety of an hour. It's just also tough and difficult to remember and count how many times he uses his skills. And of course, on bosses, he's so strong because on his A1, he has unresistible decreased defense as long as you hit the threshold So it's really, really cool. Like 392,000 damage right there with the HP burn out there with his A2 is insane. And then as you can see, we're just going to keep on going here. Of course, he stunned us. Like I was doing things wrong in the beginning, and I kind of just was going through to see how much damage I could do. So 38,000 damage. Again, Rathalos does good damage. Kind of going through. I want to see if I can showcase to you his second ability here. So when he's in Form 2, AMIUS, it's going to change. So it goes down to a 1 here with this Moon ability in the passive. When you see this as a 1, you have to make sure you have buffs if you're trying to manipulate AMIUS's second form, and I'll show you that in a second. I didn't have the increased attack to put up, which means I couldn't place additional buffs. So when he goes into this form, if you don't have buffs out there, enough buffs on your whole team, he'll just attack you with the A1 and start wiping people. And if he kills somebody, he'll go into the A3 and start sleeping, and then he'll go back to the A1 and just wipe out your whole team. So in this case, boom, there's one wiped, there's the sleep, and then he goes, oop, now I'm going to go into the A3. He didn't decide to do the A1 again. He decided to go into the A3, and then let's see what he does next. So I revived, I sped up there, and then he went with the A2 because I put buffs and whatnot, but then it kills everybody. So throughout the entirety of the fight, I got killed so many times. It was absolutely insane. I'm not going to go through the entire fight here. I just want to show you the highlights and just explain to you like what I was doing, my thought process. Drexthar, he has to have 450 accuracy. You need him to land it as much as possible. Personally, I would much rather put Elva in the lead or a champion in the lead that increases speed for your entire team. Elva is preferable. She's probably the #1 champion that you're going to want to use here. All right, guys, so I was going to showcase to you a bunch of champions here that could have block debuffs. However, this is the 4th rotation reset, so of course we're not going to have the same champs as last rotation. But again, you could do the filters. You can go here and try to look at different champions that do block debuffs because you want block debuffs on your team. It's very, very beneficial. So let me go back here again. All right, so here we are. We're back, and basically we want to make sure we're kind of manipulating the boss on the second form here. And again, I just kept on trying to wait until he transformed into this form. And what I should have done was try to utilize Scion's ability. He just wasn't fast enough, it seems, to land the heal reduction, but he also didn't have enough accuracy to ever land the heal reduction. So the boss just kept healing up over and over and over. Again, having a Brimstone or even having what I had here, which was the, I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head, Life Harvest. So Life Harvest is extremely important. So if AMIUS dies, you're chunking away his max HP over time. So he's healing less and less and less. You're doing as much damage as possible and killing him and keeping him down when you take him down in the first form. And of course, I had to keep on reviving over and over. It was a little bit of a problem here for me, but I was trying to do as much damage as I could. So I think this might have been when I did 1,000,000 damage potentially. No, this was not it. But we had to set him up to make sure it was perfect. HP burns had to be on the floor. You had to make sure you didn't get stunned. You had to make sure you had to increase attack to do 1.1+ million damage. Honestly, he can probably do more damage than that. He could probably do like 1.2 to 1.5 million damage if he gets lucky and all stars align. So he also has to have the increased crit damage as well. So just keep that in mind when you're utilizing him. See what happens here. I cleanse. I end up doing the A2 and boom, 1 million damage. Did you see that? Let's go back 10 seconds. Here you go. We cleanse again. And then let me go ahead and slow it down a bit. Let's slow down the speed here so you guys can see it. 0.5 speed. Here we go. Big damage with Rathalos. Boom, 1 million damage. That was insane, right? Over 1 million damage when the stars line. Increased attack. There's no decreased defense. If there was decreased defense and weaken, he probably would have done like around 1.5 million damage on the A2, which is his heaviest hitting ability. So he's actually nasty against this boss, AMIUS. So you need to utilize him. And of course, I did have him at 4-star because I got him from, I think, one of the path events for Rathalos for 4-star, which was actually the easiest path event for any champion that we've ever had. You only needed 1,000 points just to get his 4-star split soul or 4-star soul, which is not bad. So again, what ended up happening, he actually didn't die here, which is a surprise. placed a decreased defense. We got the weaken. We got the HP burns. And we were looking really good at 6 minutes, 7 minutes. He's hitting 100,000 damage per A1, which is insane. And yeah, so we were doing really well. And then I think I messed up here. So he healed up a bunch. We did a counterattack. And then I don't know what happened, but he kept on healing over and over. So Rathalos does crazy damage. He's hitting like 100,000 every time he has decreased defense and a HP burn, which is dirty. So, and I don't even have that crazy of gear on mine. But the biggest issue is I was trying to land this heal reductions. And sometimes if you land at the wrong time, he places continuous heal on himself. And I did do that a few times throughout the fight and made mistakes. But as you can see, Rathalos does insane damage. He goes nuts. But again, the fight took about 57 minutes. The turn count is crazy. But again, I got it done. It was done, and I'm just so happy for getting it done. 305k. So that means that it wasn't his 5th hit, his 5th consecutive try of doing damage. And on his 5th hit, he does the 1 million damage. It's just really hard to get all the stars to align, which means decreased defense, weaken, HP burn, increase attack, increase crit damage, you know? So without all that out there, you're not going to hit as much as you want to. But just with the HP burn, though, we were hitting over 1 million with the increased attack and crit damage. So let's keep going here. And I'm hoping I can show you again. I think the most I hit was like 1.2 or like 1.3, something like that. It was a lot of damage. Basically, we just kept using his abilities. We did only 75k that time, which was a surprise, but it was because of the increased defense that AMIUS has. Boom, he does damage there. We did the counter, placed the decreased defense again. Rathalos is so strong for this boss. He's absolutely nuts. So I was just debating like whether or not I should do the heal reduction, which I did it, but then I realized, oh, I might have messed up. And I think the boss ended up transforming and he healed or something. No, he didn't actually do that. He ended up doing the A2, which was a surprise to me. And I almost killed him here. And then I think he heals up again. Yeah, 213k damage. He didn't have heal reduction, or rather HP burn. And I don't have books in my Drexthar, I think. So that's why he's not landing it as consistently. And I'll show you my champion's gear afterwards. But again, I was really hoping I won it at this point at 10 minutes, almost 10 minutes in, 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Like, I should have had the win, and I didn't get it, sadly. And then I was like, okay, let me see if I can place a weekend. Nope, unfortunately I couldn't. And then he was about to change forms. And once he changed his forms, that's where all hell breaks loose. Plus, I don't think I had the increased attack ready. Or maybe I just forgot to use it. Let's see. So I did the A1. I was hoping I would kill him, and I didn't. I did do the increased attack. Did the heal reduction, but it resisted. And then I couldn't take a turn. If I could have taken a turn right there, I would have won with my Rathalos. But because that happened, my Rathalos was too slow at 205 speed. Because of that, unfortunately, I wasn't able to kill him in the previous form, and I would have been done in 10 minutes. But I had ended up killing him in this form, which is his second form, which really sucks. I was so upset. I was like, dang. And this just kept going on and on for 57 minutes. So there you go. You can see that he did a revive, and we destroyed max HP because of the life harvest on my champion Elva. So you can destroy AMIUS's max HP, which is really, really nice. And so I think I killed him at least 2, 3, or 4 times, and his max HP was destroyed about 30 to 40%. And we just kept on killing him over and over with Rathalos doing big damage. And so, yeah, so when he gets here, this is where you want to make sure you have this ability ready to go, or the block debuffs ready to go, so you don't get stunned. And that was another thing, is if you get stunned, then you lose a turn. He takes extra turns, goes into his other form. Now, this, I will say, it was close a few times where I thought I was going to lose. And there's times where the boss just starts randomly A1ing in his second form on champions you don't expect him to A1 on. So there you go. I placed the block debuffs, and then he couldn't place the stun. And then boom, we just keep going. We just kind of looking at what abilities next and make sure, okay, where's his form at? He's at form. He's still on form 1 with 1 turn to go for his form 2. Okay, what do I want to do here? I'm going to A1 to place the decreased defense. And I was like, okay, I don't really need to do the heal reduction yet. He's going to transform anyways. And then I wanted to increase attack to make sure that I manipulate the boss's turn, what turn he's, or what ability he's going to use in his second form. So you have to make sure everybody has buffs on them for him going into the next form. But I highly recommend not having heal reduction on everybody and don't have increased defense on everybody as a buff, as opposed to just increased attack or veils, because the increased defense in his second form, he'll convert that into a decreased defense. He'll convert the increased attack into decreased attack, increased speed into decreased speed, and so on and so forth. So just be mindful. You just want to get the decreased attack as compared to everything else. If you get decreased speed and decreased defense on yourself, you're pretty much screwed unless you can cleanse that somehow. But again, just try your best. So this is the form where now he's going to use the A3 because I've manipulated him into thinking, okay, I got to remove all these buffs, right? If you don't have any buffs, he's going to go into the A1, and I guarantee you he will one-shot somebody on your team. And then he's going to go right into the A3, and he's going to keep cycling back and forth and just demolish your entire team. So be very, very careful. So, as you can see, this happens for a long time, and it goes back and forth for a while. I'll be completely honest. See if we can find another one where I actually hit big damage again. Let's see. We almost killed him again, but he went into this form again here, as you can see. So yeah, we had the boss hovering for a long time. A very long time. So the boss heals up a lot because I think I messed up and he placed continuous heals because I put the heal reduction on him. So I made a mistake there. And yeah, so basically mistakes can happen and you can make that can make a big impact on your team, whether you die or potentially win, if you make too many mistakes. So kind of going through here, I think I get to the ability where I'm about to do a big hit, I think. And of course, we're just not getting lucky. The stars aren't aligning every time for us. Boom, boom, he starts smacking. And I think this is the part where I was like, oh shoot, I'm going to lose. Nope, this isn't the one. There was a time where everybody dies besides one champion. I think it was either Elva or Arbiter, and I was like, thank God I have a revive. So boom, he smacks. We get the counterattacks per usual. So basically he just keeps converting back, and then when he goes back to the first form, he heals up. Oh, this is it. This is it. This is it. This is where I thought I was going to lose the fight at 23 minutes in, and I was freaking the heck out. And here we go. He goes, whoop, and then he says, you know what? Boom, destroyed. And then I counterattack. And then I hit him again. We do the triple hit. I tried to revive, I think. Yes, I revived. And I was like, okay, he's only going to have one person to kill, then he's going to convert. Boom, he attacks my Arbiter. No idea why. He just randomly attacks my Arbiter all of a sudden. Boom, then he does the A1 again. And then he sleeps us. And then he smashes us. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to lose. And at this point, I was so frustrated. I was thinking about quitting. And I was like, you know what? Let's just tough it out. Let's tough it out. Hopefully I can revive Arbiter. Does she have the revive back? Come on, please have the revive. Please. And then he smacks and I had the decreased defense. And I was like, yes, thank God I got the revive. But I didn't have the heal. Oh no. But I did the cleanse. I was like, I got to use it. I've got to use the cleanse. And there's the heal. Everything worked in perfectly. And then I think I did some big damage here. 202k. Nothing crazy on that one. I'm waiting to see if I can get back to the big damage ability. Oh, this might have been it right here, actually. So we did that. We increased our attack. And then here we go. I believe he's going to take a turn. Boom. 660k. And that's only increased attack. That's no HP burn, no decreased defense, no weaken. 660k from Rathalos. Nuts. Okay, so let's see if we can see if he does another one at some point. I believe Rathalos does it again at some point. But it took us a while to get him down again at one point. I don't know why it was taking me forever. He just kept on healing up like crazy. It was kind of a back and forth battle. 237k Rathalos. So Rathalos was mainly my big hitting damage dealer, whereas a lot of the damage was coming from HP burn. I'm not going to lie. Most of the damage was coming from HP burn from Drexlar. But Rathalos was the one helping keep the boss down and really doing crazy damage on him, and making sure we can chunk his health away so he can die from an HP burn or potentially die from Rathalos with the final hit. So he went ahead and stunned us at that point. I was like, dang, we don't have our abilities, but I did get a revive again. And I was like, okay, decreased defense. We've got the HP burn. This is huge right now. I was like contemplating, should I do a block debuffs? No, we just kept on going. And then he started smacking us again. And I was like, oh boy, oh great. Smacked. Everybody died again. So basically we just kept dying, and your support champions need to keep everybody alive and keep your team going. So there you go. Boom. He heals. We do a full revive. And there you go. Did we smack here? I think this is a part where we start smacking again. So we do the decreased defense here. Yep, I remember we did the decreased defense. And then I think we were able to take another turn here. And I think we got the A2 back from Rathalos. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we did good damage on this one. This might be the big one. Here we go. 343. Okay, this was not the big hit. Basically, we're just waiting for the huge hits. On the 5th skill is when he does 200% damage. We're just coming back to life here. We had to get back around to our ability and wake everybody, and he healed up again. There's the decreased defense. So basically, we were in this bout of back and forth, and me almost killing him for so long. And then eventually I started getting the hang of it and making the stars align a lot more often. We also were never landing the heal reduction because we didn't have enough accuracy, which really sucked. Increase attack. Oh, I decided not to do it yet. I think I waited. He didn't get the decreased defense. But he's got the increased crit damage right now. Oh, here it is. So I did the increased attack, increased crit damage, A2. Here we go. Let's slow it down for you. Does he get the big hit? Boom! 1.1 million damage. Absolutely insane. Let's just rewind that really quickly for you guys. Here we go. One more time. Boom. Boom. And big damage. Boom. 1.11 million damage. Dude's a monster. You can definitely do way more damage than that as long as the stars align, as I said. But he's nuts against AMIUS. You have to use Rathalos against him if you don't have any Brimstone. He just goes insane. But anyways, basically the entire time we did that, we ended up killing him again. He lost more max HP. We almost died a few times. I think we did another big damage ability hit with my Rathalos at one point. 206k. Okay, and that's with a Savage set, I believe. I'll show you the kits afterwards. We ended up killing him again, so 3 times. And then the final time, I think we're coming up to it soon. Starts killing us. Transitions. Boom! 910k after he transitioned into his other form. Let's just back it up 10 seconds. We revived our Rathalos, and I was like, okay, he's got HP burn. I'm really close to that 5th hit. Let's make sure we extend that HP burn. Boom! 910k. And we're actually at turn count 1,341. We're getting close to the turn limit as well. It was cutting it close to the wire here. He transformed again into this form, which you don't want to kill him on this form. You want to kill him on his other form. So I was a little frustrated. I was like, dang it, why does he keep turning into the same form? I can't seem to kill him at the right time. So he ended up one-shotting my Elva. I was like, oh, geez, I don't have my revive back. This is not good. And then he slept us and stunned us and kept on hitting me. And then he healed again. I was like, Jesus. I was like, please let us win this. Please let us win in time with the turn count. There's the revive. There's the increased speed. There's the increased attack. Come on, baby. Let's do this. He transforms. He starts one-shotting, starts going nuts, goes into the A3, one-shots again, goes into the A3, one-shots again, and I was like, no, don't do this to me. And then I was like, okay, let's keep going. Boom, smacks. And then, yeah, I just kind of did that so he doesn't stun me. And I was waiting to get back around to my revives. I revive my Drexthar to place the HP burn. And then I revive with Arbiter once she gets around to her ability. So that way she can revive everybody. So the goal is to land the HP burns first with Drexthar, and then do the big damage with Rathalos, and then hopefully heal Reduct from time to time. Honestly, I could have just pulled out Scion and probably been good to go. I probably could have put a different champion in for him. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm at 1389. I'm at 54 minutes. He smacked. We got the decreased defense with the counterattack due to the damage mastery. It procs because of the damage. And then I did this. Boop. 170k. Increased his crit damage. Increased attack. I was like, can I take another turn before he goes? Let's see. Okay. So he took a turn, and I was like, God dang it. He did it yet again. And then, boom. He didn't kill my Rathalos this time, which I was surprised. Counterattacked. And now I was like, okay, I've got to get it this time. This has to be it. This has to be the win. We're at 1429 for returns. This is insane. Boom. We did it. 950k. I was like, thank you, Lord. Lord Jesus, baby Jesus, thank you. We ended up doing 18 million damage with Rathalos, 24 million with Drexthar. I mean, it was just insane. That was a crazy battle. Oh man, the trials and tribulations to win this. Only the highest blessing was a 4-star on Rathalos, and it was just the cruelty blessing. So let me go ahead and showcase to you the gear on the champions. So we've got Rathalos first. So Rathalos on my account here. Let me just move myself out of the way a bit here. So he is in a Savage set and then 2 random pieces. So Rathalos, we've got 5,800, almost 5,900 attack with the 4-star. Blessing is nice. 280 crit damage. He doesn't need accuracy whatsoever in his kit. 41,000 HP, 2,500 on the defense, but that's not really necessary. I wish he was a little bit faster, like 220, 230 speed, and we would have won that fight a long time ago. Skills, he's fully booked, and then I put Cruelty for the blessing to help decrease defense on the boss to hit more damage. And then his masteries are almost complete, but I did go with Helm Smasher for the masteries. And then the next champion was Arbiter. This is the gear that I utilized on her when winning. I haven't changed her back yet. 328 speed, 87,000 HP, 3,600, let's call it, on the defense, 240 accuracy. We're landing the weekend once in a while for 3%, but not that much. We still have this piece that we didn't max out. I was surprised. I didn't realize I didn't max this out. And then we've got Elva. So let's go to Elva here really quickly. So Elva, she was just in a old set here, very old set actually at this point, with the Scarab boss. So it's like immunity here. So we've got 67,000 HP, 3,300 defense, 271 speed, 417 resistance. And yeah, what's this? Untouchable, I believe. Yeah, untouchable set. So we were just looking for speed. And then for masteries, she's not even complete. I had to take off masteries, so you want to make sure you don't do cycle of magic. Like, you don't want this one, because if you cycle magic, then the boss ends up getting back to his alternate form faster, and he starts smacking you like crazy. So you'll get wiped. So you do not want anything that's going to refresh cooldowns. You do not want reflex gear. Okay, so if your reflex gear refreshes cooldowns on your skills, or if you have like regular refresh gear, a reflex and refresh. So, and then other pieces, yeah, you just don't want the masteries that refresh as well. You do not want something like this, Cycle of Violence. You don't want. Now, it would be nice to have Cycle of Violence on the Rathalos because he hits such high damage, which I did put on him. Okay, but the issue is, if it reduces his skill cooldown with this chance, then the boss could potentially swap over to his other turn. The reason why I had that, though, is so he can get back to his A2 faster during like Hydra and stuff like that. But I don't highly recommend putting that Cycle of violence on there. Just got to be very, very careful. And then other champions that I used was Scion. Scion, no masteries. Skills, fully booked, or almost fully booked. Just the A1 is missing out. Emergency heal is what I would go with, so that he could heal up every time a shield breaks. And then I went with Artifact. I just went with this right here. The Blood Shield Ring. And then, yeah, just accuracy. I wanted as much accuracy as possible. I actually didn't even have enough accuracy. I think this was accuracy if I put Drexthar in the lead, but I didn't have him in the lead. I decided to put Elva in the lead because it was better. And then the last one is Drexthar. So here he is. Put him in a regen set. It is highly recommended. 60,000 HP, 3,300 defense, 216 speed, 456 accuracy. Masteries, I went with the Giant Slayer with the triple hit on the A1. And then, of course, down here we went with Master Hexer to extend the duration of that HP burn, and then Spirit Haste if people die on your team. And yeah, so there you have it. He does not have any books. Actually, no, he does have 3 books into his A2. Preferably, you'd probably want books into here. So I do have 1 book into here. If you can max this out, pretty much every time you get attacked, you're probably going to land that HP burn, or a majority of the time that is. And then you can use him in the lead for accuracy if you need it. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Leave your comments down below. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll try to answer all your comments and questions you have. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you on a video soon. Take care.